And I'm Wanda, and we're in Becoming One. We're here this morning. It's early,
Early in the morning,
excuse me, to read the Bible.
the Bible.
The Bible. Anyways, we are going to be reading Exodus 19 and 20 today,
20. Yep.
and
Yep.
we're going to pray and jump right in.
God, we thank you today. Thank you for all that you have done, all that you continue to do for us. We ask that you work in us and through us, God. And as we read your word, we ask that you give us the discernment to understand and acknowledge who you are. And God, we ask that you bless the ears of those that are listening. And we thank you hands for what you have done for us so far. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. So, 19th chapter. Here we go. So, yeah, I'm just looking. It's only the 19th and the 20th chapter. I was just looking to see if they were going to be like 30 years long. Because, you know, sometimes they're like that.
Sometimes they go on for a while.
Mm-hmm. In the third month, on the same day of the month that the Israelites had left the land of Egypt, they came to the wilderness of Sinai. After they had set out from Rephidim, they entered the wilderness of Sinai, and Israel camped there in front of the mountain. Then Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain. This is what you are to tell the house of Jacob and explain to the sons of Israel. You have seen for yourselves what I did to Egypt and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, you will be my treasured possession out of all the nations, for the whole earth is mine, and unto me you shall be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. And these are the words that you are to speak to the Israelites. So Moses went back and summoned the elders of the people and set before them all these words that the Lord had commanded him. And all the people answered together, "We will do everything the Lord has spoken." So Moses brought their words back to the Lord. The Lord said to Moses, "Behold, I will come to you in a dense cloud, so the people will hear when I speak with you, and they will always put their trust in you." And Moses relayed to the Lord what the people had said. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go to the people and consecrate them today, and tomorrow they must wash their clothes and be prepared by the third day, for on the third day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. And you are to set up a boundary for the people around the mountain and tell them, 'Be careful not to go up the mountain or touch its base. Whoever touches the mountain shall surely be put to death. No one shall touch him, but he shall surely be stoned or shot with arrows. Whether man or beast, he must not live.' Only when the ram's horns sounds a long blast, they approach the mountain. When Moses came down from the mountain to the people, he consecrated them, washed their clothes. Be prepared for the third day, he said to the people. Do not draw near to a woman. On the third day, when I can't get my words out. On the third day, when morning came, there was thunder and lightning. A thick cloud was upon the mountain, and a very loud blast of the ram's horn went out. So all the people in the camp trembled. Then Moses brought the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was completely enveloped in smoke, because the Lord had descended it on fire, and the smoke rose like the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mountain quaked violently. And as the sound of the ram's horn grew louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God answered him in the thunder. The Lord descended to the top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the summit. So Moses went up, and the Lord said to him, "Go down and warn the people. Do not break through to see the Lord, lest many of them perish. Even the priests who approach the Lord must consecrate themselves, or the Lord will break out against them." But Moses said to the Lord, "The people cannot come up Mount Sinai, for you solemnly warned us. Put a boundary around the mountain and set it apart as holy." And the Lord replied, "Go down and bring Aaron with you. But the priests and the people must not break through to come up to the Lord, or he will break out against them." So Moses went down to the people and spoke to them.
I am the Lord your God who brought you out of
Ooh, I liked that.
the land of Egypt,
The base.
out of
I am the Lord
and
God.
the house of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an idol in your form of anything in the heavens above, on the earth below, or in the waters beneath. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord, your God, am a jealous God, visiting the inquiry of the fathers on their children, on the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing loving devotion to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not have you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not leave anyone unpunished who takes his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God, and on which you must not do any work, neither you nor your sons nor your daughters, nor your maid servants or livestock, nor the foreigner within the gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth and the sea and all that is in them. But on the seventh day he rested. Before the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and set it apart as holy. Honor your father and mother, so that your days may be long in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. If you not, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his manservant or maidservant, or his ox or donkey, in anything belongs to your neighbor. When all the people witnessed the thunder and lightning, the sounding of the ram's horn, and the mountain enveloped in smoke, they trembled and stood at a distance. "Speak to us yourself, we will listen," they said to Moses, "but do not let God speak to us, or we will die." "Do not be afraid," Moses replied, "for God has come to test you, so that the fear of him may be before you, to keep you from sinning." And the people stood at a distance as Moses approached the thick darkness where God was. Then the Lord said to Moses, "This is what you are to tell the Israelites. You have seen for yourself that I have spoken to you from heaven. You are not to make any gods alongside me. You are not to make for yourself gods of silver or gold. You are to take for me an altar of earth and sacrifice on it your burnt offerings and peace offerings, your sheep and goats and cattle. In every place where I cause my name to be remembered, I will come to you and bless you. Now, if you make an altar of stones for me, you must not build it with stones shaped by tools, for if you use a chisel on it, you will defile it. And you must not go to my altar on steps, lest your nakedness be exposed on it.
Okay. So here we are. God is like creating this, I don't know, like opportunity or learning, like a learning opportunity to create this relationship between Moses
God said, "Stand."
and God and God and his people. And I don't know, but I kind of wonder, that I've never paid attention to it before, but how the people weren't allowed to go up on the mountain, but then um, not too long later, he was like, "Oh, have the people come to me, or have some of the people come to me," and Moses is like, "Oh, I'm having to remind you this," and it's almost like God is like, "I was just testing you."
Just trying to see where you was at.
I was just testing you, like, were they gonna all run up here or whatever? But I think it's interesting because at this point, the Israelites they never know what to expect. And I guess this is what God was trying to create. Like, I need you to get out of all of the weird expectations that you have learned in Egypt and come back to understanding what freedom looks like. But sometimes I'm going to ask you to do things that doesn't seem
right or something.
It doesn't seem like kosher to what you're used to doing.
Gotcha.
And can I trust you to be obedient?
Yeah, that was.
And I don't know. I also think it's kind of interesting that, excuse me, that God allowed this. He stated that there's going to be fire all around this mountain and it'll keep the people from coming there. But their only idea that I guess that they could have is God. It stated that God basically in a roundabout way lit the mountain on fire. But we'll end up seeing that Moses comes up on this mountain many, 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 many times in the future. So it can't be lit on fire, because if it was lit on fire, then there wouldn't be nothing there. So in their minds, in their eyes, whatever, however you see it, they see fire. That is where the smoke is coming from. And they're scared. And I think it's even more interesting that even though they're scared, Moses ascends onto the mountain despite the smoke. And it's
Moses was there to get he was there to get all kind of instructions from God. Like, God, I know this thing is on fire. Well, the people know that the people see that the mountains and smoke are on fire. But Moses, like, no, that's what God is. Let me go up here and see what God is saying, so that I can bring this word back.
Yeah, and it's interesting because these people are new to this. I mean, they know of God,
right,
but they haven't experienced God in these weird, miraculous ways, other than the plagues, other than the quail and the manna, and still they have reason to grumble. But Moses has experienced him from weird things like this, like a bush being on fire, but the bush is not on fire.
Right.
Like, it's not burning up. I don't smell the smoke. It doesn't cause me fear in that way.
The green leaves are not turning to brown leaves.
Correct. And so, like, they're just now getting this opportunity to experience the miraculous God who wants to have a relationship with them, but they can't get out of their fear. Like, they're really struggling when you really think about it, in fear.
That's good. I think once you read the whole chapter of 19, if I was to sum it up, this was just kind of honoring God's obedience. Because, God came back and told Moses, like you're saying, hey, go ahead and send the people up here. But Moses had to redirect God and like, hey, you said that you want us not to bring these people up here. So I can't go against what you said. So I need to do this myself. And God, like, you know what? Just go get Aaron and bring him with you. So
I did tell you that.
I did tell you that. That slipped my mind. I know everything, but that slipped my mind that day.
You're right.
You said that.
And maybe that is something that we need to take into consideration, because this is not the only time that Moses does a reminder of God. Not that God is forgetful, but it's almost showing us that God does like us to remember what he has said and hold him to it, right? And kind of like, not that we actually like this, but when we're dealing with our children and we're going through our day, and we had told our kids, if you act right in the store, I'll get you a little piece of candy.
I'll get you something.
I'll get you something, a little bag of chips or something. And your kids were so good, and you're just moving on to the next thing, and then they say, I was good. I was good. And you're looking like, what? Yeah, you were good. And you're like, good for you. You said, that if I was good, I could get something.
Right.
Was I good? Like, I was good in my own eyes, but was I good?
I didn't touch nothing.
I didn't put nothing extra in the basket, right. Just whatever.
I was holding on to the basket like you told me.
Yeah. And I didn't go wandering. The last time I went wandering, but this time I held on to the cart.
Right.
I held on to it.
I wanted that Hostess honey bun. I wanted the Little Debbie oatmeal.
The little oatmeal cake.
All right. I want them little chips.
Them Cheetos.
Yeah. Can you get me some Skittles?
And so I think that's where what God is kind of showing to me is that hold God to it.
Yeah.
He doesn't mind that you hold him to what he has said.
Right.
He's actually excited that you even remembered. Like, I don't know. That's what I'm kind of getting at.
Right.
And and so how do you hold God to it? Maybe that's the new question.
Mm-hmm.
So then, as you're walking through your day, remind him, little pieces by little pieces.
Hey, according to your word, God, you said.
Mm-hmm. If you're walking through financial situations, it's not unusual. Well, it's not unusual to say, Lord, I've been faithful with my tithing. That really stretched me. I've never tithed before, but I've been tithing this whole month, and I'm really proud of myself. But I see how it has stretched me. And your word says, and that's how you remind him.
Your word says.
And your word says, you said that if I do this, you will protect me from the devourer that eats my resources. Mm-hmm. You said that. So will you do that? There was one time I was in the car and our car had just stopped cranking. Mm-hmm. And I said, Lord, this is your car. This ain't mine. I said, so if you really want me to get down this street, you're going to have to make it work, make it do what it do. And then about a couple of seconds later, I've turned that ignition and it cranked up. Sometimes it's important for us to remind God that he is the one who's in control and that he wants to be in control, and we are reminded that he's the one in control. And or that we have put our trust in him, or that we're doing what he called us to do. Lord, you said that I can trust you when I serve this family and it seems like this family is turning on me. I wouldn't have put myself in this situation. Right. Lord, I need you to intervene. Right. And before you know it, he does. Or you're running behind and you're just like, there's just so many scenarios. Put God into it. If he has told you something, if Your word has called out a promise to you. That promise doesn't ever end. You just need to fulfill your side of the promise to be able to remind him, that is.
Also, in God's word, it said God is not a respected person that he should lie. So he will honor what he has said in his time. Remember, it's always his timing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are dependent on it to be in your time, then you are already late. But everything is done in God's timing. So we should just sit back and realize that, as well as hold true to the foundation that God has set in regards to his 10 commandments in accordance to the love and grace that the love and grace that God shows you. Because if we are not in his word and doing the things that we need to do, why do we expect God to do what he needs to do if we are not really doing what we need to do? But remember, everything is done in God's timing. So sit back, pray about it.
Okay, I got one more thought then. So then you had stated if he'll fulfill his side if we're doing what we need to do. Well, what if we haven't been doing what we need to do? What do we need to do at that point in time?
I think we just need to tap back in.
Do we need to tap back in? We raised our kids, whether or not they picked it up along the way. I think they have, to the most part. But we raised our kids in such a way that we would tell them to own your stuff, like own your mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, be a man about it. Even if you're a woman, like be a man. The term "be a man" meaning like
take ownership of what you
take ownership of it, right?
Yeah.
And so if you've screwed up along the way,
just
take ownership of it and say, Lord, I really screwed this one up.
Yeah.
I stepped out of line when I spoke to my spouse in such or such way.
Right.
I don't want to do that any longer. And I need your help. And your word says that you'll transform me by the renewing of my mind. Because I can't do it myself. I've tried it and I kind of, I failed at it.
It didn't work.
I need you to forgive me. Yeah. I need you to rearrange my whole mental furniture. I need you to help my tongue, bridle it when I need it done. Like there's, like you can give it over to God. And when you give it over to God, it starts you brand new. You just like back in the day, I remember watching my dad clock in and clock out of his job. And they had a little paper thing and it would go into the machine and it would go and it'll come right back out. And you take the card and you do whatever. And when you ask for forgiveness and you're really true about it, you clock that card and it starts you all over. And it's important for us to be able to own that.
Right.
Give it over to God. He's not going to hold you against it. He's not like a person on this earth. He's not like your mama. He's not like your daddy. He's not going to hold you to it. He's not going to throw it in your face later on down the road. He's just different. And he's trying to teach you how beneficial his difference is in your life.
That made me think of, what was that? Proverbs 3:5-6. One of my greatest ones is trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. So whatever you're going through, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding, because he will direct your path.
I think that right there is the end right there. I think that's how we're going to end that, because I ain't got it like that. I can't just pull up, scriptures out of my pocket. No, we love you guys. We're going into a weekend of coldness and winter storms here in the south of the U.S. So if you are in Texas or one of the southern states,
Get ready.
Make sure you go and get your
Bundle up.
warm clothes on and layer up and cover up your piping that is outside and all of that other good stuff. The joke is going around. Ted Cruz is going on vacation, so if he's went on vacation, you better bundle up real good. Make sure your house is in order. So we want to remind you to get your house in order.
Get your house in
order. Oh.
Do it today.
There we are. So and so we want you to just make sure that you keep that in the foresight of your mind. Pray over your home, pray over your family, and pray over your neighbors. And we love you. We want you to continue joining us each morning at 6:30, and we will see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow.